now let's take a look at matters abroad during lockdown and to India, where the founder of India's Museum of Arts and Photography, Abhishek Poddar, has been trying to bring the world together through digital photography. Thousands of pictures of flowers have been sent to the museum in Bangalore for the project called Bouquet of Hope. So let's find out a little bit more and how they're going to be used. Joining me is Abhishek now. Hello.
Hi, Talat.
How are you, Abhishek? You're right.
Very good, thank you.
All right, cool. Lovely for you to take time out to speak to us. So, first of all, Abhishek, tell us a little about the museum itself. How did that come into being?
So this is a museum which is still under construction. We were looking at opening at the end of this year, but because of the delays with the shutdown, because of COVID, we have shifted the opening to next year. So we are preparing for it, but it exists in plan and virtually right now, but physically the space would be opening next year. Our programming has started nevertheless.
Right, okay. So before we talk more about the museum and the project, just tell us, how is lockdown in India at the moment?
I think India has handled it quite well, though the numbers have been going up, as you must have read or seen, but I think people here have been rather fortunate that it's not as virulent as it has been in other parts of the world. And the scary part in India is the density, the way we live, and the number of people we have. I'm not sure we've seen the worst as yet, but hopefully things would not get totally out of control. The lockdown's been pretty severe, and just today we got another news that this is going to be kind of extended in its same way, with a very few restrictions coming in place till the end of the month.
Right. So I suppose it's something that, people have to be prepared for, really, isn't it? As indeed across most parts of the world. Not an easy time, is it really? So going back...
I can't say it is.
Yeah. Just going back to the museum then, and in particular the project called Bouquet of Hope. So let's talk a little about how that idea came about.
Once the lockdown started, Talat, we were wondering how we can engage with all our stakeholders, with our audiences, with our donors and our board members. And everybody was very anxious and nervous and also quite depressed because of what was going on. And, people just didn't know what to expect. So we said, let's reach out and cheer people up. And there's no better way to do it than with flowers. And every mail that we were receiving, every piece of news that we were getting was depressing, and it was asking for money. And we said, let's cheer people up, let's send them flowers, and let's ask them in turn to add a flower, which they would send us digitally, and we would make it a much larger bouquet of hope and share it back with them once we receive all the flowers. So we may have sent out a couple of 100 emails, and within 2 days, I think we received almost 250 flowers and messages saying what a wonderful idea they thought that was, and if they could share this with other people. And that's when we said, let's make this into a website. So the idea had really started with an original bouquet that I had given my parents on their silver wedding anniversary, which was some 35 years ago.
Okay.
And that's when the idea of a bouquet had come in. So we shared that bouquet to start with, to germinate this idea. And after the website went live and all these flowers started getting added, somebody said, I wish these flowers were real because, right now all the florists are shut. So we said, why don't we make it a virtual florist so you can choose which flowers you like from this and in turn send it to each other.
Right.
So now people are using the Bouquet of Hope itself to send flowers to one another, and it's connected even via WhatsApp or Facebook or Twitter. So you can go to the Bouquet of Hope, you can choose which flowers you like. There are also custom-made bouquets for you. If you don't have the time, they're pre-made messages. And it's almost becoming like a messaging platform, and it's great to get a bunch of flowers to wish you, even if someone is just checking on how you're feeling and how you're doing. So it's hopes of various kinds. It's not just hope during COVID days, but even hope to see you soon. Hope your birthday was fun. I'm sorry that we couldn't speak. All kinds of different messages.
And Abhishek, are you able to tell whether there were many pictures coming from the UK? Hello, I think we may have lost. Hello, Abhishek, can you still hear me? Okay, so we're having a slight problem. We'll try and get back to Abhishek in a moment. Abhishek Poddar is the founder of India's Museum of Arts and Photography, based in Bangalore, and they've come up with a fantastic idea of creating a digital platform of flowers called Bouquet of Hope. And the idea there is that people can send in their pictures of their favorite flower and add it to the website, and in turn the website will then give access to everyone who wants to either use the flowers as well. I think we hopefully have Abhishek back. Hello Abhishek, can you hear me now?
Hi, I'm so sorry the line dropped.
That's all right, no problem at all. The question I was asking was, were there many pictures from the UK?
There are quite a few from the UK. In fact, MAP has a lot of friends in the UK. And I think what's also happened now is that, many of the people who've already added on flowers and sent bouquets have sent it in turn. So now it's getting a life of its own.
Fantastic. Now, is there still an opportunity for people to send in their flowers to you?
Now they can upload it directly on the bouquet. If you just go on to the bouquetofhope.in and upload as many flowers as you like, and start sending flowers to each other, and make your own bouquet or choose from the different templates that are already available there.
Indeed. Now, this is fantastic for the museum, isn't it? That sort of live interaction with not just people from India, but from across the world.
We had initially thought that we would roll out all our digital programming about a quarter before we were going to open. But now that this is the only way to reach out to our audiences, we said, why don't we bring that forward? And this wasn't really thought out to become what it has become, because it was a very simple idea. But sometimes the best ideas are the simplest ideas, and they grow organically, which is what has happened in this case.
So tell us a little bit more about the museum itself. What plans do you have for its future?
So this is a museum which is predominantly Indian art, and India has many museums, but it's got very few museums which have been done in recent times and done in the private space. Most of the museums are government-owned museums, and there's been very little innovation or any modernization done to these museums. So we really lack a museum-going culture and atmosphere for encouraging these things, and we thought it's time that we did something about it. So this really started off as an initiative that I took on, but now we are joined by many patrons and supporters who've come in from across India and many even from overseas. So this is going to be one of the more modern new museums in India and it's not just about modern and contemporary art, but right from our historical or classical art to textile craft and design to photography to popular culture and even vernacular art.
Fantastic. And, at a time when museums, sometimes find they are struggling, will you collaborate and work with other museums in the future in other parts of the world?
We already have started, Talat, and I think that would also be rolled out quite soon. So we've been working overtime with our digital teams, and there are many collaborations that we are doing. In fact, the main focus of the museum is what we call CARE. And on the one hand, the CARE stands for collaboration, attention to detail, respect for everyone, and excellence. And on the other hand, internally it stands for conservation, accessibility, research, and education. So collaboration is a big part of what we are looking at doing.
Okay, well, on that note, Abhishek, it's been a real pleasure speaking to you. Good luck with the Bouquet of Hope. And if anyone's interested, what's the name of the website for them to post their pictures to?
It's the bouquetofhope.in. I-N.
Wonderful. The bouquetofhope.in. Well, thank you so much for taking time out to speak to us. Good luck with lockdown in Bangalore. And it's been a pleasure. Until we speak again.
Thank you, Talat. Many thanks.
All right. Take care. Thanks very much.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. And that's Abhishek Poddar there, who is the founder of the museum, or India's Museum of Art and Photography, and talking about his special project, Bouquet of Hope. Let's catch up on the